Alright, so it's time for another tale from the Dungeon Master. Now, this is another story from the Apocalypse Squad, heading into the Chaos in the Underdark. So, as I've said previously, Lucy's heroic backstory had her slaying a clan matriarch for trying to resurrect a dead god of chaos. But what I didn't say was that Lucy was a noblewoman in her house. So, she got exiled for her efforts. So when Minerva's visions brought them back into the Underdark, she was not well received, especially since she brought some servicers with her, particularly a dwarf and a half-elf. So she was received very poorly, but they gave her the information that they had about what was going on. Apparently, some of the other clan matriarchs were independently trying to awaken this dead god of chaos. And they managed to succeed. So this chaos god was destroying everything in its wake. But what they come to find out was that it wasn't a god at all. This was a being of pure chaos that managed to do something that you would think impossible. It managed to become sentient, have a will of its own. So this being of pure chaos manipulated drow matriarchs to creating a portal, what they thought was a resurrection, to the prime material plane. And it also managed to convince an army of Githyanki to help it in its mission to just bring chaos to the realms. So the party's coming in and they have no idea how they're supposed to handle it. And then Lucy remembers, oh yeah, I've got a friend among the Githzerai. So she manages to convince Jardon to open a portal to Limbo. And once they're in Limbo, they find the Githzerai City of Order. Now, a quick little tutorial on the Gith species. There were once one species that were slaves of the Mind Flayers, and they end up splitting into two separate races, based on their approach to how they handle things. The Githzerai would use their psionic abilities to create order, while the Githyanki would creating chaos. So it wasn't that hard to convince the Githzerai to ally with Lucy, since their old chaotic enemies were rampaging in the material plane. They'd be willing to marshal their forces and come after them. The fact that they were also combating and being a pure chaos was an added bonus. So the party returns to the material plane with a Githzerai army, and they're flinging their psionic abilities at the Githyanki and the insane and warped drow. And they finally figure out where this being a pure chaos is. But the thing is, they don't know how they're supposed to fight it. How are you supposed to strike against a being of pure chaos when it would warp any weapons or spells or abilities that you have access to? So that's when Lucy's Githzerai friend comes in. See, he managed to erect a bubble of order around them. And this bubble of order protected their minds, protected their bodies, whatnot. But it also gave them something unexpected. It gave form to this entity of chaos. And with form came the ability to hurt it. So this battle became just one of the many epic fights that the Apocalypse Squad had against their major threat. But they managed to slay this being of chaos. And the Drow, now dealing with a ruined city, didn't know what to do, and they looked to Lucy. And Lucy's like belittling them for mocking her, for exiling her, for doing what she could to prevent this. And the Drow was like, "You're right, you're right. And we want you to lead us through this." They offered Lucy the position not only of the clan matriarch of her own clan, but the leader of the entire Drow of this city. So of course Lucy accepts, but she's not going to forget her commitment to the Apocalypse Squad, because this isn't the only apocalyptic scenario that she's dealt with just since meeting this group. And she knows that there are more coming. So she says to her people, like, "Look, I'll take the position, but I'm going to leave often. I'll rule you, but you're going to help me in the battles to come." So they have no choice but to agree. And Lucy demands that they go and retrieve the battle wagon that she and Jardan had built, and they were started rebuilding it with Drow magic, Drow technologies, Jardan's magic, whatnot, and they prepared for what was to come. Alrighty, well, that's it for the story of the Chaos in the Underdark. Still have 3 more stories. The Under the Sea one, the War in the Sky, and the final of the initial 6 that I came up with. Look forward to them. For now, take care.